What's going on, everyone? We are back with another video, and today I'm going to tell you how to choose your realtor. And hopefully this video, I've been in the business, it feels like forever, but hopefully with this video it helps you realize the traits you should have with your realtor. And hopefully if you have a realtor already, they have these traits perfect, you found a great one. And if they don't, maybe a little bit of reevaluation, because if you have someone representing you for a $500,000 transaction, I would hope they have these really basic skills. I think these are very low tier skills that you actually need to even make it in this industry. But yes, this is what we're talking about today. If you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is 𝐂𝐍𝐍𝐄𝐒. I'm a Connecticut realtor. If you are interested in buying, selling, investing, relocating, please reach out to me. I would love to help you. I have a bunch of out-of-state clients right now, so this is the time we can hop on a Zoom and I can help you out, do a little buyer's consultation. But if you are interested in any of those four things, and even if you need help renting, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll put my best contact on the screen. So now that I'm in this industry, it's crucial to pick the right realtor, right? Because once again, you are having these people represent you on your side of the transaction, and sometimes your realtor can be your downfall on you not getting a house, right? And we don't want that, especially with the housing shortage. And now that spring market is here, a good amount of inventory is coming to the market, but so is a lot of competition, and you need someone who will go to battle with you. But here are the five, honestly, very minimal skills that your realtor should have. And the first one above all is communication. They actually should be showing you this at the very front, at the very first meeting, and talking to you about everything you should expect before you even go look out for houses. So personally, when I have clients, whether pre-approved or not, or I get clients, I want to understand what you are looking for first, So there we go. We need to talk about that, yada, yada. And then with that, I want to hear more about you, your story, what you want to do. But then unfortunately, and not so unfortunately, but I do have to set the expectation on what we're getting ourselves into. First, what type of market we have, what you need to do when we're under contract. And I even go over the purchase contract with my clients at our first initial meeting or our first buyer's consultation, because with how the market is now, you need to be prepared before we even put in an offer, not when we're putting in an offer. Like the first time I put in an offer shouldn't be the first time you see the contract. You should actually know the contract already. You couldn't obviously reread it. And obviously you're not gonna remember all 24, paragraphs of the contract. But to have a general understanding of the steps that you have to do and what you might have to take when we're under contract or before we put in an offer is crucial, is very crucial. And even just having an agent who can communicate with you, how, the sellers are feeling, any feedback from the listing agent, anything negotiable. That communication is very crucial. And anytime I find out something, my clients will know right away. Sometimes they ask me questions and it is dependent on who can answer them, which is, if I'm calling the listing agent, if I'm calling somebody else, sometimes that timetable is dependent on somebody else, yes. But I always try to get the answer and provide it as soon as possible. So that is really number one. You have to be able to talk to your clients and tell them how this market works, what to expect, and all those things, and tell them even some bad things that's happening with the house. It's true, but it's better than them literally randomly finding out and then being like, why didn't our realtor tell us? No, you have to be honest, you have to be upfront. And that goes into number two, professionalism. So as well as being honest and upfront, we are realtors, we are held to an ethical code. And that's the professional side, is being able to work with other people, because with a real estate transaction, there's two sides, the listing side and the buyer side. And even with the listing side and buyer side, they're speaking on behalf of other people who are X, Y, and Z. It's all one giant group, but we have to be professional and be able to work with many people. Nothing's worse than having a bad rep in the real estate industry, because guess what? You're gonna be hard to work with. Sometimes, people might not put an offer on your house, and one bad experience can ruin certain things about your reputation. And that's definitely one thing. You have to be professional in this industry, because there's so many people within the transaction that are a part of it: lawyers, home inspectors, appraisers, home insurance, our clients, the lender. That's 6 right there, right? So just being able to be professional and be workable with those people and treat everybody with respect. It does sometimes get a little tough when someone's not answering or something doesn't go your way, but like maintaining that level of respect and professionalism will go a long way. Okay, so definitely burning bridges is not good in this industry, and definitely just keep that level standard up. So that is number 2, professionalism. 3, attention to detail. Golly, attention to detail, because one thing, there are some houses out there that, might not qualify for FHA. One of the things that FHA requires is that there's no chipping paint on the house. And nothing's worse, right? When your buyer might be at the max budget that they have, and they got their offer accepted, and the house has chipping paint, and you didn't tell the buyers about the FHA chipping paint, but you also didn't pay attention to it as well, and the sellers aren't planning on fixing it either. So now your buyers have to not only pay for appraisal, closing costs, and inspection, but you have to put a retainer for paying for paint so they can actually get the house. So having attention to detail is crucial. And even when I'm at, my showings, I will point out, I test the water, test the garage. I point out things that will come out in the inspection report. Because what does that show you? It shows that I'm paying attention. It shows I know the industry. And it shows that, hey, I'm a realtor, I see houses all the time. This is not something that's common, and this might be a problem for you either now or later on. So to not only have my word of mouth, but have a professional, which is the inspectors, look at it and confirm what I was saying is crucial. But having that attention to detail, whether opening the windows, testing the water, looking at maybe some rust on the water heater, the oil, all this stuff is crucial. You have to be able to have that eye for detail and honestly be able to call out things that might be problems later on, so at least your buyers know. And honestly, at the end of the day, they could get another professional's opinion, which is one, the inspector, and say they have a contractor come in, yada yada. But having that attention to detail, not only with the home, but with the paperwork as well, that's crucial too, especially if you're a seller's agent, right? You have a seller, you have 30 offers. It's your duty to present all 30 offers. Now, you might not believe that someone will get accepted, obviously, but it's your job to make sure every single offer that is submitted by the time you requested is in that seller net sheet, and make sure your clients have all their options out on the table. And that is attention to detail, whether it's paperwork, whether it's with the home, and just little stuff like that. You have to have that eye, all right? Because guess what? Sometimes that can make you look bad as well, which is, you might be going to a house, something was wrong, you didn't see it, it comes up on the inspection report as red flag, and they're like, oh, you didn't see that? And it's like, no, I didn't. But some houses, some 5, 6 houses that you saw probably did have it, but you weren't paying attention. It sometimes can be hard out here, everybody, but when you are responsible, and not so much responsible, but when you are representing someone in a transaction and for X amount of money, doesn't matter how much it is, you need to be on top of your game, and attention to detail is one of the things you have to have. So that is number 3, attention to detail. Number 4, and honestly, this is probably one or two, but I'm doing this out of order, is having a realtor that's knowledgeable. Your realtor should know things about houses. Sometimes, now, yes, we should know about the houses. Sometimes we won't know how long something will last. And at that point, you have a contractor or a professional look at it themselves, because personally for me, if I'm looking at an electric box, I'm not an electrician, stuff like that, but knowledgeable about the market, bids that are winning, stuff that you might have to do to win a bid, extra stuff to put in the contract to help you win. So let's say an escalation clause. What's an escalation clause? Basically, you're saying that you're willing to pay up to a certain amount above the top offer to win the house. So say you'll pay $10,000 over the top bid up to a certain amount. So say you're approved for $720. You put in a bid for $650. You said you'll pay $10,000 over the top bid, but up to $720. So say the top bid is $720. Obviously, not only are you not pre-approved for $720, you're not gonna be paying $10,000 over that $720. So that's an escalation clause. That just means like, hey, whatever the top is, we'll pay more up to a certain point. But certain little things like that should your realtor not only tell you about, but they should know, because with this market, it's so competitive. Now, we did have COVID, right? And I was not a realtor during COVID, but from what I heard, basically it was such a crazy time that everybody was buying houses. If you were fresh on the license, you were selling a couple houses like that, But nowadays, you need to know your stuff. You need to know how to navigate. You need to know your market. You need to know how to navigate with sellers, negotiation skills, there's a lot you need to know. To be honest, there is a lot you need to know, and unless your realtor knows that, how are you gonna win? For those people who are 6 months out, years out, looking for houses, have you won a house with your realtor? How long have you been looking? Did they go over the purchase contract with you? Do you know your contingencies? How can you get your deposit back if you back out of the contract? When can you back out of the contract? Stuff like that. Your realtor should be telling you, how's the market right now? It's competitive. Are you ready? This is something we might have to do. When we are at a house and they call final invest in 2 days, you have to make that decision. It might be quick, but sometimes you have to move quickly, and your realtor should know that, and that's something they should tell you. And like I said before with the communication, at my buyer's consult, I set the expectation right there, because you have to. This market is moving so quickly. I had an open house last week. I was supposed to do it Sunday. The house went live Friday. It went under contract hours later. So it's that type of movement that, hey, that you might have to do. So that is definitely number 4. You should have a realtor that you're knowledgeable about, that can negotiate for you and knows the market and knows what they can do, maybe in that real estate psychology or just biz and all that stuff. Everything encompassing real estate, your realtor should know and have the knowledge about. If you have a question, hey, we don't know everything. We do not. But they should be able to either have the answer or find it for you. And that is what your realtor should be doing. So that is number 4. Number 5, which is not talked about enough, is compatibility. You and your realtor should honestly be able to trust them, right? They might, understand where you're coming from. You might be able to relate. You might be able to X, Y, and Z. Maybe you feel good about having someone represent you in your side of the transaction, but at the end of the day, they are representing you. So you should honestly see yourself and a little bit of them. Oh, we get along great because they understand this, or they're a good listener, or they communicate, or they do this. But you guys should be compatible. Not every person in the realtor is compatible. They're not. And I do encourage people to interview multiple realtors, because hey, just because you're the first person they talk to, or hey, if you call Zillow and you're connected with the first realtor, does not mean you have to sign with them. That's 1. And 2, you should find someone you're comfortable with that has all these traits, because it's so crucial when you're making one of the biggest purchases of your life. You have to be compatible, you have to get along, and hopefully that compatibility will ease your mind a bit when you do go out and look for houses, and you might get a bit discouraged, but you know your realtor's doing a great job because you know you trust them from what you learned about them. So those are the 5 traits, and really, like I said, the baseline traits that a realtor should have to help you find a home. And hey, if you don't have that, no matter where you are, Connecticut, Alaska, Florida, Italy, guess what? I'm a part of a brokerage with over 88,000, almost 90,000 people. And I have business partners all over the world. And for me personally, now that I understand the severity of this industry, and I do not, work with people that I wouldn't trust myself handling my own transactions. My lender, Tom, Modern Home Inspections for home inspections, Greg Campbell for insurance. Like, these are people I would trust doing my own transactions, and who have recommended to help people that I know and they got taken care of. So if you definitely are watching this video and you're just like, does my realtor have that? Feel free to reach out to me. Once again, I have business partners all over the country, and these aren't just people in my brokerage. Like, I met these people. Like, I like these people. I would trust them doing my transactions. I would send my clients to them. I know they're being taken care of. So definitely reach out to me if you are struggling with a realtor that doesn't have these skills, and I can help you out and find you a realtor that does. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and got some value out of it. And if you did like this video, make sure you hit the like button and make sure you subscribe so you're notified of when I post my next video. I always thank you guys for watching. I appreciate your support always, and I hope you have a great day.